Hey everyone, quick update for the week ending Friday, April 11th. Hope everybody survived the week. Wow, what a week. What a couple of months, really. I mean, I've been trading since late 1999. So I traded through the internet bubble of late 99, early 2000, September 11th, 2001. Of course, the financial crisis in 2008. COVID, and everything else in between. And this is probably the craziest week I've ever seen. And of course, Wednesday was the largest one-day up move ever in the market. So some crazy stuff. So it's so important to manage your position, be in the habit of managing correct position sizing and managing risk so that when times like this do happen, you have the good habits in place. So hopefully that was the case for you this week. Looking at S&P futures, Monday here, Tuesday here. Wednesday was the big push up when we had the 90-day tariff pause announced. Monday was actually the fake 90-day tariff pause announcement. We had that big push up and the reversal. It really happened on Wednesday, and then Thursday reversal, closed basically at Wednesday's highs. Today we opened at Wednesday's highs and closed higher, up almost 100 points in the S&P. So what's so wild and with trading, it's being able to adapt to the different environments and doing it quickly because the market can move so quickly is something that a lot of traders struggle with. And I mean, think about it. Just a couple of weeks ago, a big range for the day in the S&P was 50 points. This week, we saw 50-point ranges in between 5 and 15 minutes, almost every day, right? So that's just crazy, right? That's very difficult to adapt to. So hope you're doing well with that. I don't know what to say about that, but hope you're doing well. NASDAQ price action, pretty similar. Russell didn't really respect that Wednesday high as much as the ES, NASDAQ, and the Dow all were very similar around that as far as the price action. And then gold, if you believe in the gold of old, gold is hitting new all-time highs. So gold used to be at least kind of a flight to safety, kind of an inflation hedge, and it had that downside last week, but ripped right back up through all-time highs. So people are buying gold, and so read into that whatever you want, but the gold bugs are saying there's more to come. Silver had a bounce back as well, but not nearly as much compared to last week's drop. Notes and bonds have been absolutely getting crushed. 10-year yield popping back up, went back above 4.5, settled in at 4.446. Oil, after a big slide, kind of chopping around here the last few days, settling in at 61.5, got as low as 55 earlier this week on Wednesday. Natural gas ended the week lower. Soybeans ripping higher. Wheat a little bit higher, and then corn, similar to soybeans, just a massive push higher. Euro and the pound also big moves up, showing obviously relative weakness in the U.S. dollar. And then Bitcoin finished the week higher as well, got down to around 75, ended up above 84,000. So, and then VIX, I mean, what a move in VIX, right? Like we went above 60 and then settled in at 37.5. Just wild stuff. So hope you are surviving. I can't say that enough. Manage thy risk. As far as my trades go, so as far as zero DTE stuff, I didn't do anything on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Just try to be very selective, and I was just taking profits fairly quickly and just trying to find little pockets of consolidation, and mostly doing these trades towards the end of the day where we still had super wide ranges available for zero DTE iron condors, but the decay was just incredibly fast. So that's all I did today. So plus 1,300. The only other thing I was doing all week was directional day trades, and by that I just mean buying puts and calls on individual stocks. And so let's see, this was Monday. So ended up plus 54,310 on the week. I gave, call it 16,000 back because I had one day that I made $70,000, and that was Wednesday. Yeah, the big up day. Biggest winner was in MSTR, over 40, almost 43K on that one. Microsoft over 30. So just had, part of it was I was anticipating a potential good news call to come out at some point, and then just picked my levels and managed risk around it, and had some really good size on when we had that explosion higher. And so I just kind of let those calls go. So that was just kind of a nice little bump, but just continuing to focus on, picking levels, managing risk around those levels. And that's what it's been all about for me, really, in this volatility. For me, when volatility gets like this, everything else kind of takes a side. I push it kind of to the side and really been focusing more on directional trading just because of the big moves. If you can manage risk around a specific level so that you're cutting your losses quickly and you're letting those winners run when they present themselves, that can be just gangbusters for directional trades. Now, I did, after Wednesday, I had that big day Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, especially today, Friday, I could feel myself starting to get a little loose with my rules, get a little bit loose with my risk management. And so I certainly gave some back. And so I'm really kind of mentally focusing and going to be doing some trade reviews and stuff this weekend to really reset and refocus on what got me there as far as the gains go. Because what I felt myself doing is starting to think of every trade as could be one of those big trades. And that's just not how it works. So kind of resetting, I'm going to reset my position sizes a little bit, reset my risk management mentality, and hopefully keep this train going into next week. I can't see the volatility slowing down too much. Of course, we have the 90-day pause on tariffs, but as these negotiations with different countries, specifically China, come out, it's most likely going to create some additional volatility, and then, both negative and positive news coming out. So you got to stay nimble, manage thy risk, and hopefully you're able to scratch out some good profits. So this kind of, if you're used to trading one way, let's say selling zero DTE premium, I can't emphasize enough, you've got to be able to adapt. You can't do the same thing that you were doing a few weeks ago and expect it to work in this environment. So if you are going to have one focus, then it's probably best if you don't trade, or you really manage your size and scale down your size, and just kind of be a little bit more selective in this environment, or don't trade at all. If you do have the ability to adapt and kind of change your strategy to this environment, that would be the other thing to do. So hope all that helps. Just all that to say, stay safe, manage your risk. What you don't want to do is get crazy and blow your account in an environment like this, because there's still a ton of opportunity, but you've got to stay solvent. You've got to keep that risk in check so that you have that dry powder, so that when you do come across the situation where you can really profit, you have that ability to do so. So everybody have a good weekend. Look forward to another good week next week. Take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.